Welcome back to episode 2 of Triple Play. We're going to run through the National League. Beckett had to go. He has a lacrosse call with a mutual friend of the show, Griffin Cass. He's a big basketball guy. And they're calling some lacrosse for QBSN. You can go run that up on the QBSN.com/listen. Of course, by the time this is out, you probably won't hear that, but whatever. Just keep that in the back of your mind.
For
future reference, keep that in the back of your mind. We're going to run through the National League. Same thing we did with the AL last episode.
Yep.
We're going to kick it off, or lead it off, in the National League East with your Washington Nationals. They were the worst team in baseball last season by record.
Yeah.
Won 55 games, lost 107.
Yeah.
And over the offseason, they didn't really do much. Like they signed 2 guys to 1-year deals, Heimer Candelario and Dominic Smith.
Yeah.
And a guy named Stone Garrett, who has a fun name.
And Jeter Downs is here now.
And Jeter Downs is there. Michael Chavis is there, I want to say.
No.
Is he a Pirate? I think he's still
a Pirate.
They lost some major pieces, or semi-major veterans.
I mean, Soto was last year.
Soto was last season, but that's still very major.
Season.
And we're still getting the ramifications of that because C.J. Abrams and Mackenzie Gore, who are both doing solid in the spring.
Yeah.
But Nelson Cruz is gone. He's a Padre now. Luke Voit is out the door. He signed with Milwaukee. And they also lost some guys from the World Series run. Anibal Sanchez is gone. And Cesar Hernandez. Out the door. He's just a little infielder.
This is a team that back in the early, 2010s was running the NL East, and it happens. I mean, you're going to be on top of your division for a little while, and then you're going to fall. It's the back and forth of a franchise.
I was just really surprised with how quickly they fell off because 2019 won the World Series. 2020 COVID year, they had just had a bad season, and they just never got back on track.
Yeah. Wow.
This rotation's this lineup rotation is pretty rough.
It's bad.
There's some young guys I like. There are some young guys I like. C.J. Abrams is there. Mackenzie Gore's looked good this spring.
Carter Kieboom is still there.
Carter Kieboom. Oh my goodness, I forgot about him. I think it's Kieboom. I think you're right.
Might be Kieboom.
Kieboom.
He was an exciting guy. I remember a few years ago when he was one of their top ranked prospects. Yeah. He hasn't really panned out well, but there's a lot of young guys on this team and a lot of like opportunities to go around, a lot of at bats to see what you got in some of these guys.
I don't hate this lineup as much as I thought I would.
I really do like Victor
Lane
Robles
Thomas
too.
is really solid.
Yeah.
Corey Dickerson got brought in.
Yep.
Joey Meneses, he had a breakout season last year as like a 30-year-old rookie, and he turned it on in the WBC for Team Mexico.
Yeah.
Dom Smith, Heimer Candelario, we just said. Kybert Ruiz, I think he's going to be their starting catcher this season. He should take a step forward. I like Luis Garcia, their second baseman. Robles is the question mark.
Yeah.
I think if he could play good, he has good potential. I think he's more of a trade chip at this point. Like, I would not be surprised if the Nats moved on from him mid-season as like a veteran outfielder who wants to go to a contender to bring in a prospect or two.
He's still fairly young.
Yeah, he's like 26, 27?
Yeah, he's a very fast player. The biggest thing I feel like that hasn't really panned out for him is average.
Yeah.
Like, kind of coming into the league, you expected this guy to be a very good, above average, hitter when it comes to getting on base, at batting average, and he just really hasn't panned out. And he's a solid defender.
Yeah.
So I mean,
he's a good defensive center fielder. I just don't.
And this is honestly a good opportunity for him to kind of, and for other teams to see where he's at when he's in a lineup that's not featuring really, really good players, and the attention is kind of more on guys like him, Dominic Smith, Corey Dickerson. But honestly, this is going to be a good season for the Nationals organization.
Yeah.
For the team itself, they're going to be sitting at the bottom of the NL.
If you're a Nationals fan, you're looking for the young guys this year. I don't like this pitching staff at all. Well, not maybe that's a little too harsh.
I do like Mackenzie Gore.
Patrick Corbin's bad now.
Corbin sucks. He's really
Patrick
bad.
Corbin's not good anymore.
Yeah.
Josiah Gray is decent.
He's okay.
He's a decent youngster. Yeah. He came over in the Trey Turner-Scherzer trade. He's decent. He's got good pieces. Mackenzie Gore's very good. I think he should be the one by the end of the season. There are other pitchers on the roster, Trevor Williams and Chad Kuhl, both veteran journeyman guys. They do have Cade Cavalli, who's one of the guys he's like on some of the Rookie of the Year odd boards. He's like 10th in the NL, I think. But I think he could come up, get some decent innings.
Should get good reps this year.
This bullpen sucks. This bullpen's not very good.
I mean,
they did bring Sean Doolittle back. I like that, but other than that,
the reason why Nationals fans have something to be positive about is because their team knows what they're doing this year. They're not in a situation where it's like, well, we could take you almost. If I'm a Nationals fan, I'm more thankful for this situation than maybe like the Tigers, because the Tigers, they're kind of in between. They have guys who could help them compete, but they're bad overall, and we know they're not going to compete. The Nationals are just
like you said, like with the Tigers, they went out and signed Javi Baez, and it didn't help.
Yeah,
right. The Nationals aren't doing that. Right, they have their young guys locked up. They want to see what these young guys can do.
And they're getting far. They're helping their farm system grow.
Yeah. And they have a really solid farm system.
They do.
They have a solid farm system, solid group of prospects. Their over/under is 59.5.
I might go over. I think they're a 61 team.
Yeah, over. I'm gonna say it's like 60, 61. I don't think they're worse.
Not by much.
They're not worse. I like the lineup enough where I think that they'll win a little bit more than 50. I think they may win more than 59.
Yeah, I agree.
But not a major over. And the lineup's fun. There's going to be some guys that hit in this lineup. Next up, the Miami Marlins. This is an interesting one.
Yeah.
They had an interesting offseason. They added Luis Arias, the AL batting title, who won the AL batting title last year. They added Johnny Cueto. They added A.J. Puck. They added Matt Barnes and a couple other guys, Gene Segura and J.T. Chargot. They lost Pablo Lopez.
That's a big loss.
They lost one of their biggest locker room guys, and they're starting shortstop in Miguel Rojas.
Yep.
Richard Blear is gone, and Brian Anderson's gone.
Some tough losses.
I don't know if I can say this team got better. They didn't get worse, but I don't know if they got better. Arias is an amazing pickup. I love that. We saw him going all out for Team Venezuela.
Yeah.
In Miami, the stadium, his new home stadium. So I think that he was a good pickup there. And I like the addition of Cueto and Puck. And Segura.
Yeah.
Just losing Lopez hurts. Losing Rojas really hurts.
Yeah. But honestly, with Lopez for Arias. I think it was a move they needed to do because they have good pitching.
Exactly. They have
can
the
support
pitching
the pitching.
depth. They have the pitching depth to make Lopez expendable, and they got one of the best second basemen in the game.
And honestly...
And I don't hate... This pitching staff is really solid, right? Your starting rotation is going to be Alcantara, probably Trevor Rogers at the 2, Jesus Luzardo, Johnny Cueto, and either Edward Cabrera or Sixto Sanchez. That's honestly, a really solid starting 5.
I could see Cabrera and Sixto being in that...
Or maybe if they want to go, like, have one day where it's kind of like not a bullpen day, but like you have Cabrera go 3 and then you have Sixto go 4, something like that. I don't hate the bullpen either.
Yeah.
There's some decent guys in this pen.
I think their ceiling is 3.
I don't think they're better than the Phillies or the Mets or the this team could make the playoffs, I think, if they were not in the NL East.
Yeah.
I think if they were
if they were in the Central,
put them in the Central, even put them in the
West potentially.
Maybe put them in the West, but I don't know. I just
it's tough.
This team, listen, I like their pieces. Jazz Chisholm's gonna be playing some center field. He's gonna put on a show out there.
Yeah, he's fun to watch.
He's one of my favorite players in the game. Arias and Sanchez are gonna be really good. Avisail Garcia and Jorge Soler, they could settle in year 2 down there in Miami. I think that their lineup's gonna produce enough for them to be competitive and win games. The pitching is gonna produce enough for them to be competitive and win games. I just don't think that they're better than any of the other teams in their division.
Yeah.
And they're going to kind of struggle to take that step forward.
I think you said it yourself. They're going to win games. They're going this 1 through 4 in the East going to be very competitive.
Yeah.
Obviously I think out of like we mentioned, the Marlins are the weaker team probably out of these top 4 teams. But on the other hand, kind of like the Nationals, this is a season that Marlins fans should be happy about even if they finish 4th because they are growing. They're finding more of an identity.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm telling you, the Mets, Braves, Phillies, one of these teams in the next few years is going to regress. Mm-hmm. And honestly, right now, I think the Mets.
Yeah, that's what
the Mets probably are the most likely. I mean, the Mets just pay a ton of guys a lot of money. We'll get to them in a second, but the Marlins could win a good amount of divisional games this year. They could.
Yeah.
They could play well against the Braves and the Phillies.
I could definitely see Miami kind of doing what Baltimore did last year and going on a kind of surprise run and winning 80 games.
Yeah.
Their over/under is 75.5.
I'm going to take the over here.
How much of an over?
Put me at 77, 78.
I like that.
Over.
That. I'm going to go slight under.
Okay.
I think they win 73, 74. Just because the other 3 teams in this division are so good.
Really good.
I would not count the Marlins out, though, because they have the pitching.
They do.
When you have pitching, everything else can kind of fall into place.
Yep.
worried that their offense is not going to be consistent enough to do that. Because they have a lot of guys who can hit for power.
They do.
It's just if Jazz gets injured or if Arias gets injured,
They're in trouble.
Those are their two best average guys, and if they go down, it could be kind of shaky.
Yeah.
Could be kind of shaky.
Jump to the Mets, I think, right?
Phillies are next
Phillies,
up.
okay. Yeah, that's right, because the Phillies came in as a wild card team.
They only won 87 games,
and
and then they ran through the playoffs, made some big upsets. They upset everyone they played. I think they upset the Braves first round in the wild card series. No, that wasn't. Yeah, that was the wild card series.
Yeah,
and then upset the Padres in the CS. Oh my goodness, this team is fun.
Yeah, this is gonna be a fun team.
Lost the World Series. But they had some fun moments all season.
Taking the Astros to Game 6 of the World Series
taking the Astros to Game
is an
6
accomplishment.
is a huge accomplishment. And beating that Padres team is a big accomplishment, too.
It is.
And
I thought the Padres were
I think
they
got a lot better over the offseason. They brought in Trey Turner on a huge contract. Craig Kimbrell is there on a one-year deal.
Yeah,
Gregory Soto is there.
They got a great bullpen.
Tejuan Walker is there. Like, they added some guys, and they only lost
Sir Anthony Dominguez.
Yeah, he's really good too.
Very good.
And they only lost a handful of dudes free agency wise. Gene Segura, Zach Eflin, Noah Syndergaard out the door, Matt Vierling, who was solid last season. Kyle Gibson too.
They're gonna have a hole at first base right now.
Yeah, the Rhys Hoskins injury is big. He's the heart and soul of that offense.
Yeah, they will probably they got a little bit of work to do there. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Harper ends up getting a lot of DH roles and they slide Schwarber to like first.
And that's another thing to think about too.
They have flexibility.
Harper's going to be out till like June.
Yeah.
They didn't 60-day him, so he's eligible to come back earlier than he would otherwise. Yeah. But
I mean, it presents a big hole in this lineup. Looking at
the issue with this team is going to be injuries, right? Yeah. Like Nola, I like their starting rotation through 4.
Yeah.
Nola, Wheeler, Walker, Suarez is really good.
And Matt Strahm might contend for that 5th or a long relief spot.
Right now, it's somebody named Bailey Falter. I think if
I know Falter. Yeah,
he's solid. He had a good ERA last year.
Yeah, he
386.
I believe it was Christian Arroyo in spring training who hit 2 nukes off of him in one game.
I really do like that Andrew Painter kid they have. He's hurt right now, but I think if he comes back in June, like this is going to be a team that I think if they can keep their head above water in the division,
they'll be okay
until about June. They're going to get so many reinforcements back with Harper, with possibly Painter, with any guys they go make a trade for, that they could go run the table in August and September and really like overtake one of the Mets or Braves, whoever's kind of second in that division.
Yeah.
And I really like their lineup.
Yeah. I would say with the 3 teams, Mets, Phillies, and Braves, there's not one team that I'm confident in winning that division. It's a toss-up.
I think Atlanta. I think Atlanta's the clear favorite, but I wouldn't be surprised if like New York made a run, or if just because Atlanta's
the Braves are definitely the favorite, but I don't know, man. If one of these teams get hot, like if the Phillies get hot,
that's true.
If they can perform better than expected for this time without Harper and no Hoskins this season, which is gonna suck.
Yeah,
but they make a move at the deadline, they could end up finishing in first.
Yeah. So the over/under for these Phillies, 89.5. I don't want to be that guy, but I am going to take the under here.
Yeah, I think I agree with
you.
I'm
going to go 85 wins because of the injuries.
Yeah.
But I think they turn it on come playoff time and can get to the CS easily. Yeah. Well, maybe not easily, but I think they have the potential to get to the CS again.
Yeah. The big thing is Hoskins. I really do love Rhys Hoskins. Yeah. I think he's a difference maker in the lineup.
Not having Rhys and Harper in that lineup hurts a lot.
But
they do still have Turner.
Schwarber's been fantastic. Castellanos, Real Muto. So many names in this lineup. So many big names.
Even Alec Boehm, Bryson Stott. These are guys who can mash the
Brandon
ball.
Marsh.
Playoff Brandon Marsh was different. I don't even hate. Look, listen, they got Edmundo Souza there. He's a really good defensive guy.
Yeah.
And the Phillies, listen, last year defense was not their strong suit.
But we knew that was going to be coming in.
We knew that.
We knew so many bats.
Yeah. We knew that.
Yeah.
But they got a lot of bats on this team.
Yeah.
They can pitch. This bullpen's really good. This starting lineup is really good.
Yep.
I like these Phillies. I think if they can keep their head above water while they have Hoskins and Harper out, they're gonna be fine. And they can go on a deep playoff run.
They could.
Jumping to our
the
other New York team, your New York Mets. They had a fun offseason.
They did. They brought a few guys in.
A lot of guys in. Justin Verlander, welcome to the New York Mets. Kodai Senga from Japan. Jose Quintana, Omar Narvaez, David Robertson, our favorite guy, Tommy Pham.
Yeah.
They lost a lot of guys, too, though.
They did.
They lost about 3 they lost a lot of pitching. Jacob deGrom's gone. Taijuan Walker's gone. Chris Bassett's gone. Seth Lugo's gone. Dom Smith out the door. Their offense, though, stayed pretty much the same.
Mm-hmm.
And holy shit, this offense is good.
Their offense is really good. I mean, pitching-wise, like you were saying, that's analogy I'll use here is you got a boat, it's leaking, and you're just slapping on some whatever, some tape or whatever.
Papa Cohen's just slapping $300 million on that bitch.
Just trying to patch the holes, and honestly, they did a solid job for what they could this offseason. This lineup in 2020, they could have had a fantastic season, and they just couldn't figure it out. Or maybe it was 2021. It was 2021, I believe.
2021, yeah.
Yeah, they had a very rough season for just the amount of bats and the power and the team they threw around DeGrom and stuff like that. And losing DeGrom is massive. I'm not going to understate it.
However, though, I do think
Verlander is a solid replacement. Though.
Verlander is a more than capable replacement.
Yeah.
And because DeGrom was always liable to miss a lot of time, I don't think it's as detrimental as a lot of people are thinking.
Maybe
I think it's definitely big because he is the best pitcher on the planet right now.
Yeah.
But bringing in Justin Verlander is a really good fix for that. And I like that they went with like a 2-year contract because it's not a crazy long-term fix. The rest of this rotation is pretty solid. Senga, I think, is going to be really solid for them. Cookie, he's rocking there. This bullpen, there's some question marks. I like Drew Smith.
No Edwin Diaz.
Is huge.
That's going to hurt.
David Robertson penciled in as the closer right now. They got Adam Ottavino there. So they got capable guys in their pen. The thing I like the most about them is that they have a lot of youth, too.
Yeah, they do.
Like, Francisco Alvarez is going to be really good. Brent Batty is going to be really good when they bring him up. Shit, this lineup can hit. Alonso, McNeil, Escobar, Lindor, Nimmo, Marte, Vogelbach. These are some ringers. This team's going to hit.
Yeah. I mean, they brought in Omar, too, Narvaez.
He's a really good player. I loved him on the Brewers.
Yeah. I mean, the problem, this team's going to do fine in the regular season. They're going to make the postseason. But I think they'll make the postseason. But
this is a very regular season team, I think.
It's just like I don't think they did enough to get over that hump of being a regular season team.
Yeah.
It's going to happen year after year because the problem is, yes, to their credit, the NL is so tough, but it's like you look at you compare New York and Philly just for a second, right?
Yeah.
Philly's got players who are postseason animals. Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper. I mean, guys who are playoff performers. And when you go to the playoffs, yes, having young guys worked out for like the Mariners, but if you're trying to really get over that hump and compete for a World Series, you got to have veterans on your team. And veterans who are guys who can live up to those big moments in the postseason. I love Pete Alonso. I love Francisco Lindor. I think they're both great players. And I like guys like Jeff McNeil and Marte who, play a little bit smaller roles, contact guys.
Yeah, but McNeil
still,
is
But still, I just don't see this. I don't look at this lineup and think to myself, this is a lineup that is going to be dangerous in the postseason.
Yeah, and maybe it's just part of this is the Mets. They always kind of fall apart come playoff time. I think that they and the Phillies have two opposite philosophies in terms of what they're building for. Both teams are spending a shit ton of money.
They are.
To go out and win. But the Phillies' philosophy is just, okay, get us to the playoffs and let our guys take over. The Mets are trying to be a regular season juggernaut and hope that carries over. Last season it didn't work.
Yeah.
Could work. I'm not saying that can't work. We've seen teams do that all the time. Astros, Red Sox in 2018. You can definitely be a regular season juggernaut and then run the table come October.
See,
I just don't know if the Mets have the guys with playoff caliber experience in there and with that kind of, turn it on in the playoffs mentality to do that. They could definitely develop. I think guys like Alonso can develop that.
I'll be real.
I don't know. We'll see. And it's just when you look at them and teams like the Braves and the Padres and even the Dodgers right now, those three teams are a lot more complete than the Mets are, I think.
Well, this is a big narrative and a big thing for me. Teams like the Braves, Dodgers, Phillies, Padres, Cardinals, these guys, they have big guys that they went out and bought.
Yeah.
But with building a team for October, the mixture is getting guys that can produce and growing people.
Exactly.
And the Dodgers, fantastic farm system. Braves, I think they've had the best farm system in years.
Yeah, them and the Dodgers.
Up there.
In the
Padres.
baseball.
The Padres have guys like Manny Machado who are going to perform in the postseason, and Soto, but these guys are young.
Yeah.
And they're still coming up. And the Cardinals, they have good veterans on their teams.
Yeah. And another big part too is just finding the right guys at the right time.
Yeah.
Especially whether that's in the lineup or in the bullpen. Usually the bullpen. It's just finding the right guys at the right time. So I think the Mets can be very good. Their over/under right now is listed at 94.5.
I'm taking under.
I'm
taking under on the Mets.
I don't hate that, especially if the Phillies
they get hot at the end.
Turn it on.
They'll pass the Mets, no doubt.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the under, slight under, 94.
Yeah.
I think they win 94 this year.
I have them around like 90.
I think they take a
92.
step back because they lost so many guys in that starting rotation.
Yeah.
They lost a lot of innings out of that starting rotation.
They did.
And if David Peterson, who's like, if they're whoever their fifth starter is gonna be, it's either probably gonna be Peterson or I don't know, either Peterson or Smith maybe. I don't really know.
Yeah.
I think they lost a lot of innings out of that pen, so they are gonna take a step back.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't be surprised if they were able to, if guys get hot.
Yeah, I mean, you never know.
But this Atlanta Braves team is good. We're gonna move on to
Let's
the Braves.
segue to them. Whew.
Sean Murphy, big ad, trade with the A's. Joe Jimenez brought in Nick Anderson, who was, if y'all remember, 2020 was
What a relief
phenomenal
pitcher.
for Tampa Bay.
Pitcher.
Also Sam Hilliard for some outfield depth.
Yeah.
They did lose a couple big guys. Dansby Swanson's gone.
No more Kenley Jansen.
Kenley Jansen's gone.
But I mean,
William Contreras out the door. Adam Duvall, Luke Jackson. So they lost some major guys.
Yeah.
However,
they are still one of the best teams in baseball.
I think this is the best team in the National League right now.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I think so because this starting rotation, if
disgusting,
doesn't jump out. But look at this, bro. Max Fried, Spencer Strider, old man Charlie Morton, Kyle Wright turned it on last year. Probably the fifth guy is either going to be Iron Anderson or Jared Schuster. Schuster's, I think, a rookie.
Yeah.
He had a good spring.
Got a great bullpen still.
This fucking bullpen might be
Kirby
the best.
Yates.
This might be one of the best bullpens in baseball. Because
AJ
they
Minter.
lost. They did lose Kenley, right? Then they went out and got Raisel Iglesias for a bag of potato chips.
Raisel Iglesias.
Raisel Iglesias, Joe Jimenez, AJ Minter, even Colin McHugh. This guy can shove. Shit, Kirby Yates?
Yeah.
God damn.
They have pitching beyond belief. And if you think, oh my God, their pitching is good, their offense is just a whole nother ballgame.
They have the deepest, most complete lineup in baseball. There is not, guys 1 through 9. Their only weak spot is maybe shortstop right now with either Orlando Arcia or Ehire Adrianza.
You could go out and get a guy easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
Or Vaughn Grissom in
Yeah.
AAA. That guy came up for a good chunk of last season and hit the shit out of the baseball.
He did.
I remember when they played when they came to Boston to play, he hit a fucking moonshot.
Killed us.
Moonshot. He was cooking. And
Yeah.
when your infield is, I mean, this infield.
This infield's disgusting.
Matt Olson at first, Ozzie at second, Riley at third. This outfield, man, Michael Harris. You got the reigning Roy.
The big subtraction from this lineup was obviously Dansby Swanson.
Yeah.
That's kind of the guy who you look at this lineup and you're like, man, if they still had Dansby. But obviously, the Braves are smart with their money. And honestly, I do like Dansby Swanson. I think he's going to do fantastic for the Cubs this year. But still, this lineup is something, and this overall team is just something that MLB execs just gush over. Because it's just, this is exactly what you want if you want to go on a postseason run.
And just the fact that their GM, Alex, I don't know how to pronounce the last name.
Antetokounmpo, like we joke around. He's got to be related to Giannis, bro. It's just the last name.
I think it's like Anthopoulos or something like that.
I think is he Greek?
He's got to be Greek.
He's got to be,
or at least like Greek American.
He's somewhere around there.
Just the fact that he's able to lock these guys up for like
Forever?
I don't know,
Forever?
60 years, 7 years, 60 million
60
is
years.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like I think he locked up Michael Harris for 8 years, 90 million. That's a bargain.
That's a great
Especially
deal.
if Harris becomes a top 5 outfielder in 4 years. Like, holy Christ.
You never know, man.
Yeah, I love this Braves team.
Yeah.
I think I said this. I think Ronald Acuna could win MVP if he goes off at the right time. If he stays healthy, 40-40 season.
Yeah.
Maybe put money on it.
Yeah.
Oh, this team's so fun.
It's a great team.
This team is so
great
fun.
team.
Over under for them is 96.5.
I'm
Hammer
taking
the
the
fucking
over.
over.
I'm taking the over.
100 wins, baby.
They will win 100
This Braves
games
team is
year.
winning 100 games again.
Yeah.
Let's jump to the Central. You saw a
do it.
little bit of some of these teams last year. I think we're going to start with, both the Reds and the Pirates finished the same. We're going to start off with the Cincinnati Reds.
All right.
They brought in a couple veteran guys. Will Myers is there now. Kevin Newman from the Pirates. Nick Solak, Kurt Casale. Nothing major. And then they lost a couple of vets too. Moustakis is gone. Donovan Solano's gone. It's the Reds.
So I threw this out earlier that, I have a team in the MLB that is like the Kings, and they're the Reds. And you know what? The Reds, I will admit it, they're not going to be good for a little while. Yeah. But when they are, they could be pretty fun.
Listen, they got some fun young pieces.
I love the Reds fans. I love the history with the franchise.
I love Joey Votto, too. Joey Votto's one of my favorite players.
I love Joey Votto so
in
much.
baseball.
And I'm so happy he's running it back. Honestly, offense isn't terrible.
It's not great, though.
It's not great. You got to have – There's
a lot of young guys
help.
here. There's a lot of young guys here. I do really like Jonathan India. Tyler Stevenson's very good. I don't hate the pitching that much.
The pitching's
I'll be
not
honest.
terrible.
Hunter Green and
Yeah.
Nick Lodolo are two really good young pitchers. Even Graham Ashcraft wasn't bad last year. Luis Sessa's solid. And Alexis Diaz as the closer, the brother of Edwin Diaz. Really good. He had a really good rookie season last year. Looked good in the WBC.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna take a step forward. And
The Reds are gonna have a season this year, kind of like the Nationals are having. They're piecing their pieces together. They're seeing what they got. I love Jonathan India. I
do too.
I love a lot of these guys. I mean, listen, man, I will be wearing the red shirt loud and proud in here often. But honestly, like, yes, between them and the Pirates, I mean, I think the Reds will probably finish in last place. Maybe the Pirates.
I think the Pirates are better than them this year.
Yeah,
not by a ton, but I think they're better.
But I mean,
I think that the good thing about the Reds, though, is they have a bunch of young dudes in the wing. I want to look at their top prospects.
The thing is, they're in a good division for a few years where they
have
do
some
stuff.
really good prospects in the wings. Ellie De La Cruz in AAA, Noelvi Marte in AA. One of their top prospects is going to be on the big league roster this year, Spencer Steer.
Yep.
He's going to be their starting
third baseman, I think.
Yeah, I think
or shortstop.
so.
Probably third base.
Yeah, third base, you're right.
So, yeah, I mean, this team, it's about the farm right now. And honestly, like, you look at the rest of the division, you got the Cardinals, the Brewers, the Cubs might be good this year. But honestly, in a couple years, 2 or 3 years, you could see the Reds competing for a division.
Well, and we saw the Reds playing playoff baseball 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of blew it up, which I was not a fan of. I thought they were like a couple pieces away from making a run at winning the Central.
Yeah.
And then they kind of just blew it up, which I hated. I hated seeing that.
Throw back to the beautiful days of Nick Castellanos flexing.
Oh my goodness.
On people after he steals
them. Yeah. The Reds had some fun teams,
Derek Dietrich,
Luis Castillo.
Yeah.
Reds are fun. Yeah. I think they have a bunch of good, fun youngsters this year. The over/under set at 65.5. They won 62 last year. I'm going to take the under.
I'm going to take the over because I got to be that guy.
I'm going to say 63.
I'm going to take the over.
I'll say 63 wins this year.
I'll say like 67.
Yeah.
I will say before we move on, the Reds got a really nice stadium. It's a fun trip. They got those smokestacks and the outfield that shoot fire when they get strikeouts. It's a good atmosphere. Very, very nice ballpark. Yeah. They do fireworks every Friday night.
They're one of the most historic teams in baseball. I think they're the oldest team in the NL.
Yeah, it's a great trip out there. It's a great trip out there.
Very fun, very good franchise. They're just kind of in a flux position right now.
They are.
We're going to jump to the Pittsburgh Pirates, who made probably my favorite signing of the offseason by
of
bringing
course.
back Pirates legend Andrew McCutchen. He's back on a one-year deal.
McCutchen.
They added some other guys, too, that I really like. Carlos Santana.
G-Man Choi.
Big Dick Rick Hitchhill. Yep. Fucking shit, I butchered that. Big Dick Rich Hill.
Yeah.
G-Man Choi, as you said. Connor Joe from the Rockies. And they didn't lose too many guys. They only lost Kevin Newman, Roberto Perez. Oh, shit, Austin Hedges is playing for him, too.
Yeah.
So, they added some dudes.
Yeah. The big thing with the Pirates is 7 through 9 is a little shaky in the lineup.
Yes.
I do like 1 through 6 in the lineup a lot.
I am not. Listen, I don't hate their pitching as much as I thought I would.
Yeah.
Roansy Contreras had a solid season last year.
Yeah.
I think that was his rookie
It's
season?
not. They don't have a great
It's
staff,
not great. Oh, it's not great by far. But they have some some good pieces. Rich Hill and Vince Velasquez is kind of bridge guys.
Yeah.
Mitch Keller, I think, is like the future that they want there.
He is.
David Bednar is a really solid closer. The offense is fun, right? They have some really fun guys. G-Man Choi, Key Brian Hayes, love him. O'Neal Cruz, Brian Reynolds. If Brian Reynolds sticks around there's some trade rumors over the offseason.
He wants out, I'm pretty sure.
That's what the rumor has
heard.
been.
Yeah, and Rich Hill's finally going to turn the age of his jersey.
Yeah,
I
don't know. I kind of view this team the same plateau as the Reds. They finished with the same record as them last season. That's interesting. They also have Miguel Andujar. Interesting.
That's an interesting guy.
Interesting.
I really love O'Neal Cruz, though, and you never know what he could do.
I do love O'Neal Cruz.
You never know what he could do.
Andrew McCutchen back is going to help these guys so much.
Yeah, he's going to be a great mentor.
And I want to say they have a couple top prospects coming up this year, or at least due up this year.
I'll be going to Pittsburgh this summer to catch a game. They got a really pretty stadium, too. It's going to be fun to – I mean, this team really is going to – ideally finish 4th, but I mean, O'Neal Cruz is going to put himself up there.
On this, a lot of their top prospects are like a year away.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see some of these guys. Like Henry Davis could be up this year at some point, but
But this is a great year to see what you got in guys like Cruz and Brian Hayes and I mean
this is a bridge year for
you
them.
got some pop in that lineup, adding McCutchen, Santana, and Choi. I mean, it's really just kind of a let's have a baseball season and see what happens, and I like that for them.
Yeah, because they have some proven youngsters here with Cruz, Hayes, Reynolds is like kind of like the star of the team right now, and then you got your vets in there, Kutch, Santana, Choi to kind of mentor everybody, and they got some good youngsters in this starting lineup that I do like Sawinski. Yeah, he had a stretch over the summer where he was hitting he was having a real good hitting streak. Jesus. Where he had a couple bombs. Rodolfo Castro's not bad. I think if I remember correctly, he was the guy who had the phone in his pocket when he slid into third and like it came flying out of his pocket. But he had a decent season last year. He's probably gonna be their starting second baseman. And I don't hate this pitching staff. I think that they're gonna be solid. Yeah. Maybe slightly better than the Reds, maybe slightly worse. I can't really. They both have very even rosters right now. So, and their over-under is 67.5. Ugh. Under.
Yeah, I'm going under,
I think that they're like same plateau as the Reds. I said 63 for the Reds. I'll say like 65 for the Pirates. As much as I want as much as I would love a McCutchen.
He's really close to hitting on some milestones this season. I think he's got a few. I think it's like doubles. There's like a home run milestone coming up for him. He's got might be an RBI one too.
Bro, the Pirates better retire his jersey when he leaves. Oh my god, I forgot that McCutchen was a Yankee for like a month. Ugh.
Yeah, it was. He's kind of been a little everywhere. I mean, great memories of watching him growing up and being an MVP.
yeah, dude, he's only 13 home runs away from 300.
Yeah, that's a milestone.
Yeah,
it's a milestone.
Yeah.
So I mean that's the Pirates pretty much.
That's the Pittsburgh Pirates. We're gonna move on to kind of like the good teams in this division.
Yeah.
No disrespect, Chicago Cubs.
Yeah, they had a good offseason.
They weren't that bad last year, 74 and 88, and they had a nice offseason.
I like their offseason.
Dansby Swanson, welcome to the squad. Cody Bellinger.
Yeah.
Come on over. Trey Mancini, how you doing? Yeah. Jamison Tyone, Michael Fulmer, Eric Hosmer, a lot of guys on one-year prove-it deals.
Yeah.
Some big losses. Wilson Contreras, their starting catcher for a while, is gone. Franmil Reyes left. Wade Miley's out the door. Jason Hayward's no longer there.
Get Hayward out of here.
Yeah, he was bad for a couple years, but he was like really the one holdover from the 2016 team still on the roster, except for David Ross, their manager.
Yeah, I like this team 1 through 7.
I really like.
And honestly,
this
1 through 8. Actually, you know what? I like their whole lineup.
I really like this Cubs team.
I like their whole lineup.
This pitching staff is good.
It is a solid
for the most.
pitching staff.
It's really solid.
That's their weakest part, I think, their pitching staff, but it is
1
solid.
through 3, Stroman, Tyone, Hendricks, really good. I like Drew Smyly in there. They're probably going to bring up. I'm pretty sure they have some pitching prospects in the ring. Rowan Wick is really, really good.
Yeah.
Michael Fulmer's
penciled
in as a closer.
Here.
Adbert Alzolay is not bad.
Yeah.
Like Julian Merriweather too. He was good with the Jays for a little bit.
They have guys who can go out and chew up innings for you. And I mean, obviously no ace, but
yeah. But I really like their lineup.
I do too.
I want to say, Brennan Davis is close.
Yeah.
His ETA is this year. Hayden Wisniewski. He's a pitcher.
They got guys coming.
They got some prospects ready to roll.
I mean, this lineup has the potential to have a lot of pop.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's this Matt Mervis guy is penciled in on the roster too. He's probably going to start if he makes the roster over. I think really the only weakness is catcher right now. Their catcher is Jan Gomes.
Yeah, but that's not terrible. That's not terrible.
I do love this lineup though.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's really good.
Yeah.
It is really good. I think that this team is going to surprise a lot of people.
I think the NL Central is going to have a solid year.
Oh yeah.
Overall, other than obviously Reds, Pirates, but the 3 top teams will have solid years.
Nico Horner, love this guy. He's one of my favorites. Yeah. Dansby Swanson, Ian Happ, Bellinger, Mancini, Edwin Rios. I really think that Christopher Morel might start over him a lot at the DH spot.
Yeah, maybe.
Patrick Wisdom's not bad, and then Eric Hosmer, we know what he can do. He's kind of a shell of what he used to be, but still having a veteran guy like that in the locker room is going to help a lot.
It's a big season for Cody Bellinger.
I think Seiya is out for a little bit.
Seiya's going to be out for a little bit, but when he comes back, that'll be fun to watch. He was kind of cooking towards the end of the season.
Yeah, when he came back, he was rocking.
Which, with a lot of the guys from Japan and stuff like that, it takes a few seasons for them to find their rhythm. Yeah. But I think he's going to be good.
He looked good as a rookie.
Yeah.
The over/under for them is 76.5.
I'm going to take over. I think they're an 80-win team.
I think they can win like 80.
I think they can win 80 games.
I think this team can win like 84, 83. I'm I'm going to take the over, too. I like this Cubs team. I think they have the potential to be better than the Brewers.
They do have the potential to be better than the Brewers.
I Brewers
also
have
really
more
like the
proven
Brewers.
guys, but I really like the Cubs and the additions that they made, and the fact that they're not just shooing in this year as a prospect year. The fact that they went out and got guys like Dansby is big.
The big thing for me that separates the Brewers from the Cubs right now is that I trust their pitching staff slightly more.
Well, not even slightly more. They have two genuine potential Cy Young guys.
Yeah, in that
the
staff.
Brewers. We can transition to the Brewers.
I mean,
right now, I really like this Brewers lineup too.
We can talk about the lineup first a little
look
bit.
At this shit.
Oh,
they added a couple guys. Jesse Winker's in there now. William Contreras, the brother of Wilson, he got picked up in that. There's like that 3-team trade with the Braves.
Yeah. I really like the Brewers this year. I mean, Yelich has got to find himself.
They did lose some guys though.
Yeah,
Renfro's out, McCutcheon's out, Narvaez's out, Wong is out, Taylor Rogers is out.
But Rogers was probably one of the bigger losses. A lot of those guys were kind of 1-year contracts.
Renfro, I thought would stick around.
Yeah,
that was a weird trade. I don't know why they got rid of him.
Renfro just kind of seems like he's gonna be the guy to roam for the rest of his career.
I don't know, because they got rid of Renfro, right? Who's been like a consistent 25 home run guy.
Sure, yeah.
And basically just replaced him with Jesse Winker,
which I feel like that's a little bit of an upgrade.
He has more upside, but I think that Winker has a bigger floor too, because he didn't play great last season with the Mariners.
Yeah,
and that could have just been a first year in the AL thing. He's back in the NL Central.
Yeah,
because he did tear it up with Cincinnati 2 years ago. So maybe this is an improvement for him. Maybe this will help him a lot.
Yeah.
And I can see a bounce back here for him.
Also, I really like Willy Adames.
I love Willy Adames.
I think I got to see. Actually,
hated him with Tampa.
Yeah.
Because he always killed us.
Yes.
But
I think
he's an underrated shortstop.
Very underrated.
Very
I think he is primed for a breakout year. On my little ballpark tour this summer, he was one of my favorite players to watch.
Yeah.
You can just watch his approach at the plate, and you can just tell the guy rakes.
And
Rowdy. How can I forget about Rowdy? I love Rowdy Tellez. He's so good.
Another guy that I hated when he was in the AL East, and now I love him because he's gone. This pitching staff is very good. Corbin Burns, Brandon Woodruff, Freddie Peralta,
so good.
Eric Lauer, Adrian Hauser, Wade Miley. They might run a 6-man rotation.
They could. And they got Devin Williams in the bullpen.
Devin Williams is the bona fide closer all season now because Hader's not there anymore.
Yeah, which honestly, in the moment, I was kind of confused with that move, but
in
now
the moment,
I kind
it was
like
weird,
it
but
better.
because they have Williams, I didn't hate it as much. They got
good arms.
Matt Bush, solid. Javi Gurria, solid.
Yeah.
There are some question marks in this lineup though towards the bottom, I think.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out
because
middle infield a little better.
Yelich needs to find himself again. Adames, I love. Winker, I think will be solid. I think he'll get back. William Contreras, he's young. He'll take a step forward.
They need one more bat.
After about 5, where Rowdy's kind of slotted in right now, Anderson, Naquin, Luis Urias, who's very good. I really like him. And then Garrett Mitchell, they're probably going to have some flexibility.
Yeah.
They'll probably platoon a lot of their outfield guys. Because I'm pretty sure they still have, what's his face? Tyrone Taylor, who's not bad. He's really solid.
I think they have him still.
And do they still have what's his name? Do they still have Keston Hiura?
Yes, they do.
Yeah. So he'll
I think he's just kind of slumped a little bit last year, but he'll play.
He'll platoon a little bit too. So I think that Brewers, I wouldn't be surprised if they went and finished second in the division, maybe even won the division. Also wouldn't be surprised if they got overlapped by the Cubs.
Yeah.
Their over-under is, 86.5. That's a big jump.
I'll take over.
I'm going to take the under.
I'll take over.
I think they win like 83.
I think they go for like 88, 89.
I don't hate that.
Yeah.
They definitely have the pitching to get it done.
Yeah.
I just have lineup questions.
They need a bat. They need a bat bad.
Yeah, they could add a couple of vet guys.
Yeah. Anyways, the front runners for this division,
STL,
St. Louis
baby.
Cardinals, they are really good. They're just I mean, you go from Hall of Famer Yadier Molina to probably another guy who could have a Hall of Fame career when Wilson Contreras. They just got younger.
They really went out and got one of the best catchers on the market. William Contreras in with a 5-year deal.
And Nick, your guy Lars is here.
My boy, I've turned into the biggest Lars Nootbaar fan on the planet since the WBC. Probably not. I think people in Japan love him more than I do.
Probably, but slightly.
He had a fun ass dude. He's a dog out there.
He's a fun guy.
And the only guys they really lost were guys that retired.
Yeah.
Albert Pujols retired. Yachty retired.
Which
Adam Wainwright's running it back.
Yeah, that's
Adam
fun.
Wainwright was running it back. They also lost Jose Quintana and Alex Reyes.
Yeah.
I like this. Dude, I'm liking and I'm loving. This Cardinals team is good.
Their pitching
Young,
staff is
fun.
okay. Yeah.
They got a good mix of vets and youth guys. This
Yeah.
lineup is gonna bang. This pitching staff is gonna bang.
It's a good. I mean, listen, we could gush over almost like I'd say 90% of this roster because this is a roster that could legit make a title run this year.
I think, yeah.
But I mean, they're taking chances with the younger guys. Like I don't know how old Lars is.
Lars is.
I know Jordan Walker's extremely young.
Last year was his rookie season, I think.
Yeah. They got young guys in this roster. They got youth. It's not.
Lars is 25.
Yeah.
He's 25 years old. Yeah, I really like this lineup.
This is the perfect mix for me of young guys who are on the rise, who will be very good players in this league, and older guys who are dominating the league right now and have playoff experience.
Yeah, like they have a good mix of proven dudes like Goldschmidt, Arenado, Contreras, and
those are
young guys on the up and up like Brendan Donovan, Jordan Walker, the rookie coming in, Tyler O'Neill, Lars Nootbaar, Tommy Edman, underrated as hell. Tommy Edman's one of the best contact guys in the NL.
I mean, Goldschmidt, Arenado, Contreras, those are the three guys in that middle of the lineup that will get you postseason experience. And honestly, St. Louis had a disappointing end to their season last year, which they faced, I believe, the Phillies in the first round.
Yeah. And they got rocked by the Phillies.
They were up 1-0 and then just complete collapse.
I am a big. This is the most complete team in the division by far.
Yeah,
this
by far.
Pitching staff, if they can stay healthy, has got it. Michaelis, Flaherty, Montgomery, Waino.
Yeah,
this bullpen's great. Gallegos, Hicks, Ryan Helsley, and this lineup, man, this lineup's great. I think this team is the. I mean, they're obviously the. I kicked my cup. My bad.
But yeah, they are the front runners in this division. I don't think there's any doubt about it. What's our over under here?
88.5.
Over.
Give me 95
Give me 90
for this
wins.
team. Give me 95 for this
team.
team.
Give me 97.
Oh, baby.
Give me 97.
Here come the S. Yeah, if you're a betting person, I would say go bet on the Cardinals for the over and go bet on probably the Yankees for the over too, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more confident in the Cardinals.
Braves,
than the Yankees,
actually Braves on the over too.
I'd say Braves and Cardinals are my two favorites.
Let's go
so
out
far.
west, baby.
Yeah, taking a trip out west.
Lead it off with our beloved, maybe, Colorado Rockies. They had a rough year last season.
Yeah, you guys just kind of been not doing much.
Big Rockies fans out here, you know?
The thing with the Rockies was, like, they lost all their guys.
Yeah.
And the Chris Bryant signing was a little weird.
Yeah, to say the least.
Giving a lot of money to a guy who
this is
a little unproven. A little bit.
I feel like this team just doesn't have a plan.
Yeah, this is a team that I'm
keep
scared
signing veterans, like, you know, they're keeping Charlie Blackmon. They're keeping Charlie Blackmon around. They're signing veterans like Profar. They added Mike Moustakas too.
Yeah.
CJ Cron is still here.
Yeah.
I don't know why they decided to pay Chris Bryant all that money. They're holding on to their good pitchers like Marquez and Freeland.
And the rest of them are kind of eh.
And
they got also, Brad Hand, but
Brad Hand. I like Daniel Bard. And they're taking chances on some guys like Lamet.
Yeah.
Just overall, this team just feels incomplete.
Doesn't have
like
a plan
they're missing
at all.
a lot of pieces. I do really like the guy who's going to play shortstop for them this year, Ezekiel Tovar.
Yeah.
He's one of the front runner rookie of the year guys in the NL.
Yeah.
Again, I just don't think this team has a plan.
I mean, if you're a Rockies fan, this is kind of the opposite of like the season the Reds, Nationals, Pirates. These guys who are, you know, experimenting with their younger guys, knowing that they're going to lose but trying to give reps. I mean, you got a lot of veterans in this lineup who, I'll put it frankly, just kind of are meh.
Well, they're like just a bunch of guys that are past their prime.
Yeah. Guys
like,
who Colorado's got no plan.
Yeah, and like they don't even have, like, no disrespect, they don't have a great farm system.
They don't.
Their top two prospects are great. Tovar, who's going to be on the big league squad this year, and Zach Veen, who's a couple years away.
Yeah.
But other than that, and it's the biggest thing with the Rockies is that they don't ever develop pitching because of cores, right? And that's like the big thing. But what they really just need to do is find guys who can pitch in cores.
Yeah, they do.
And I saw a video. If you guys know who Foolish Baseball is, he does great baseball content on YouTube. He did a video on like what the Rockies' game plan should be, and it's to go find guys who can pitch in cores and who have really good ground ball rates.
Yeah. Guys who are
and then go invest.
Keep
the ball out of the air and go invest in a good defensive infield, and that's what they should be doing.
Yeah,
and they're
not
sort of doing that because Marquez is really good.
Yeah, he is.
Marquez fits there,
but the rest of the
no one else does.
I mean,
and it's hard, but and like this Rockies team, in their heyday, they could out-hit anybody in the National League.
Back when Ryu was a free agent, I kind of wanted them to try to go after him because he was a fantastic ground ball pitcher. One of the best.
I think another guy that could have been a good fit too was like your Jordan Montgomery types.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Either get guys who can shove it past people, with like good velocity to get a lot of strikeouts.
What guys who are going to shoot ground balls?
Yeah, or guys with some good spin rates too.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is like they lose, but they don't. They're not, it seems like they're not getting good prospects. Who it's like, okay, we're losing now, but in 5 years we're gonna have some great young guys coming up. That doesn't seem like it's happening.
What I think the Rockies need to really do is just do a complete overhaul.
Yeah,
like fire everybody, GM, manager,
everybody,
and just build from the ground up. Trade all your guys, get all the youngsters up.
Hey, Rockies organization, connect with me on LinkedIn. I'd love to take over your franchise. I do a great job in MLB.
And I think they need to do like take a unique look at who of like how they can build their roster going forward. Their over-unders listed at 65.5.
I'll take under.
I think this team wins 60.
I'm not a fan. I think they're fighting for 60.
I don't love this team this year. They got some good pieces, some good like veteran pieces. I do like McMahon. I do like Grichuk. Keep an eye on this team for fantasy purposes. And for some of the young fun guys.
It's like, I mean,
other than that,
Marquez will get you some pitching.
Marquez is their best pitcher. He's probably the best pitcher in their franchise history, which is saying something.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of faith in Colorado this year, and even for the next couple of years, which I hate to say because I do really like the Rockies.
Yeah, I like them too.
I like the Rockies.
It's fun out in Colorado.
When the Rockies teams are very good, like those Tulowitzki Rockies.
Yeah.
So fun. Even the Arenado Rockies, man. I wish they were better.
I do too.
We're going to keep rocking the division. We're going to go to Zona.
Yeah.
And hit the Arizona Diamondbacks.
You know what?
They had a fun offseason.
They're gonna have a much more enjoyable season. This year.
I think so too. I think that their rebuild is trending in the right direction. They brought in a couple of vets that I really like. Evan Longoria there to kind of teach the youth. Lourdes Gurriel, a nice pickup. Yeah. Gabriel Moreno might be their starting catcher. Potentially.
Yeah.
And they went out and got Kyle Lewis too, who after winning Rookie of the Year kind of fell off the face of the earth, but I like the pickup.
It's a bold move, but I
like the pickup.
It could work for him. And then obviously Corbin's coming up this year.
Yeah,
and
Carroll Corbin is going to be phenomenal. He's going to be so fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, and I like Marte. Marte's a solid player. And
I mean, we can talk their pitchers too. They got some nice
GOAT,
ones.
Christian Walker.
Oh yeah,
funny.
I'm a big Christian Walker guy.
Funny story with Christian Walker. So, I want to say like 3 or 4 years ago, I drafted him on my fantasy team, and with all my guys for fantasy, like a while ago, I used to just smash notifications for like all the things.
Yeah.
But then it got too much, and my team was like, I won the championship or whatever thing that year, and I just turned all the notifications off except for one guy. It was Christian
Walker, baby.
But the funny thing is, a few years ago, he just started to become a just dominant little power hitter. So I'd always get the notifications: home run, Christian Walker. So it's become kind of a personal meme to me. So like, I just get random notifications throughout the summer. It'll be like Christian Walker home run, and I'll be like, it's gonna be a good day.
Yeah.
So it's a weird, funny story, but Christian Walker has a little soft spot.
And I low key really like this lineup.
Yeah.
Corbin Carroll as the leadoff guy. Cattell, Gurriel, Walker at cleanup. Josh Rojas is underrated as hell.
Yeah. They have guys.
Alec Thomas.
Yeah.
He had a good rookie season last year.
He did.
And
between guys on Lewis, you find somebody there.
Yeah, and I think that this team, I don't think they're a playoff team this year.
No.
But this is another squad
that'll
that
be fun to watch. Yeah.
I think could potentially do what the Orioles did last year.
Yeah.
Go surprise people and win like 78.
Yeah.
Because their pitching is good. Zach Gallen is a bona fide Cy Young candidate. Merrill Kelly's really good. Madison Bumgarner's old, but he can still get it done. Zach Davies is good. And they're probably going to throw some of their prospects in if they decide to in that final rotation spot. I think the guy that's closest right now, ESPN has it as Dre Jameson. I kind of like Brandon Pfaadt too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen a little bit of him in spring training. He's really, really good. Yeah, this team's fun. This team is going to be fun. I think that they're going to surprise a lot of people. They won 74 last year. They're over under 74 this year. I think this team could win like 80 as their ceiling.
It's a high over under.
80 as their ceiling just because the rest of the division is so good. I'm going to take a slight under and say like 72. But
yeah, I'm gonna kind of go there along the same lines.
Would not be surprised if they show out this year, and I think Corbin Carroll's the front runner for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have a great season for them.
He's such a speedster too.
He is. He's a fun.
I think he's the fastest guy in MLB.
He might be.
He's up there.
Anyways, going out to the Bay, San Francisco. I mean, if you're an Oakland Athletics fan, like we talked about in episode 1, why aren't you watching? I mean, honestly, they were trying to go all out for Judge, and they almost got him.
And then they almost got Correa, too,
They almost got Correa.
They didn't have a bad offseason, though. Like, I know there's a disappointment there. They got Michael Conforto.
Yeah.
They got Mitch Haniger, Taylor Rogers, Luke Jackson, Sean Manaea. Those are good ads.
Yeah.
Those are good ads.
Great ads.
It just also sucks when you lose Carlos Rodon.
Yeah, it's a big loss.
And Brandon Belt's out the door, too, but he wasn't a huge contributor last season. He had an okay season.
They have a few guys. Like, I really love their outfield. Conforto, Peterson, and Yastrzemski. That's a great outfield.
Yeah, and the
rest of the team is just kind of average hitters playing baseball.
This is not the same team that had the magic 107 win season.
And
it's not a bad squad, though.
They're in a place where this is a defining season for them.
I think so, too.
Because if they can hang around, they avoid a rebuild, they go out and sign somebody big in free agency.
Yeah.
If they can't, they might be looking to do a little bit of rebuilding.
Yeah, I agree with that. I really do like this pitching staff.
It is a good
Logan
staff.
Webb is legit.
He's underrated.
Manaea's very good. Alex Cobb can get it done. This bullpen's really good, too. They have both the Rogers twins, which is a fun little storyline.
Yeah.
Taylor and Tyler are going to be throwing
Manaea.
in the same bullpen. Imagine that as like this. You got Taylor as the 7th.
That's
Tyler, like, it's basically the same dude, except Tyler's got that
Tyler.
wacky submarine delivery. Right? It is Tyler who's the submariner, I think, right?
Tyler's sub.
And
Tyler's
then
the sub
Camillo
guy.
Duvall, that dude can shove.
It's a gross.
That dude can shove. It's
bullpen.
if that's your 7, 8, 9, that's pretty scary.
See, if they can find a way to get hot in May, June, approaching trade deadline, and they are 2nd, 3rd in the West, which they should be, I wouldn't be opposed to them taking a chance on a bat on a struggling team, making a move, trying to make a little
like go out and get one of the vets on like the Rockies or someone like that. And I don't hate this lineup either. Joey Bart had a decent end to last season. Thairo Estrada's legit.
Yeah,
I think I said his first name right. Thairo Estrada. As you said, I love this outfield between Jock, Yastrzemski, Haniger, Conforto.
Yeah.
Luis Gonzalez out there. He's like an older 30-year-old rookie, but he was good last year. And they got some decent guys in the infield. J.D. Davis, Brandon Crawford. They do not have the firepower that the Padres and Dodgers have.
They don't. That's why they're not going to contend in the West.
Granted, that didn't matter. Well, I mean, they had Chris Bryant, but they had some other star players in the pitching staff. But
they just had an overall good year a few years ago.
2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
The over-under's 81.5. They were 500 on the dot last season.
I think I'm going to take a slight under.
I'm going to take...
Just because I think my other two are probably going to end up over.
I went under on the D-backs. I'm going to go slight over on the Giants. I think they can win 83.
Okay. It's legit.
I think they can win 83.
If things go right.
I don't think... Yeah, and I think the Dodgers will take a step back. So I think the Giants will win like 83. Slight over.
Well, we're coming up on a really, really fun team that honestly...
Your San Diego Padres, baby.
Could win the NL West.
Could win the World Series.
Could win the World Series.
Goes right. You know how the Mariners are my second favorite team?
This is your third.
Padres are about my third favorite team.
Yeah.
Even before they went out and got on the spending spree that they were on.
Sander, Juan, Manny Machado, Nelson Cruz, Jake Cronenworth, Matt Carpenter, Kim. I mean, the names go on and on. It's a fun team.
They had a good offseason of ads. Sander Bogarts, that was a big one. They're giving him 11 years. This team has 3 shortstops, which is crazy to think about.
We haven't even said Tatis's name. Yeah.
Matt Carpenter's coming over on a 2-year deal.
Yeah.
Nelson Cruz, Michael Wacha, Seth Lugo is a good sneaky pickup.
Yeah.
They lost Bell, Clevenger, Manaea. Brandon Drury's gone. Will Myers is gone. Profar is a Rocky. Other than that, this team stayed pretty much the same.
But I really do love their pitching this year. I really do.
I also love their pitching. I
mean, Blake Snell,
I love their
Michael
lineup,
Wacha.
their pitching.
Yeah.
Oh my! They have 3 guys who can be aces.
They do.
Darvish, Musgrove, and Snell when he's right. And even Wacha and Nick Martinez are good, solid options.
Yeah.
This bullpen is filthy.
They have
Robert Suarez was great last year. Josh Hader, best closer in the game still.
Yeah.
Holy shit! And this offense, dude, this lineup.
It
Look
mashes.
at this. It's gonna be interesting to see how this lineup gets managed because
Without
they have a
Tatis
lot of
too.
Well, they just have a lot of guys that they can plug in a lot of different spots, right? They have 3 guys who can play shortstop.
They
so
do.
Giving all those guys playing time is going to be kind of interesting.
Somebody's have to play outfield.
Oh, what the fuck, dude? David Dahl is listed on this roster. I didn't know they picked him up.
Is he?
Yeah, he's like listed as their 4th outfielder on here.
Huh.
Wow, they have a lot of veteran guys. Adam Engel's here.
Yeah, Adam Engel's here now.
Trent Grisham.
Hmm.
David Dahl, huh?
That's interesting.
I didn't know they picked him up.
Yeah. It's a
Interesting.
solid little move.
But yeah, like, and bringing in Nelson Cruz there, he knows Juan Soto. That's a nice move just to have like that vet guy who knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean they played in Washington together.
Shit, he can still mash.
Oh yeah. He's got like 1 or 2 more seasons left in the tank of
somehow,
hitting
yeah.
home runs. Yeah. What's the over under here?
The over under for these Padres is 93.5.
I will go.
I'm gonna
over.
go. Yeah.
I'll go like 95-ish.
I think 95, 96.
Fair spot.
Just because there's so much star talent on both sides of the ball on this team.
They're gonna win.
I think that they can hang with the
They're gonna win
Dodgers, possibly win the division. I think their ceiling is win the division.
Yeah.
Ceiling is win the division and then make a run at the NLCS.
Yeah.
Like this Padres team is legit, and I don't know when we've said that about the Padres in a while.
They're very good.
This team is fun. This team is good. Oh, it's just that the Dodgers are still in this division, man.
Segueing perfectly
Now
to the Dodgers.
this Dodgers team won 111 games last season. They
And
also
yet they-
lost in the NLDS
Yeah.
to the 89-win Padres. And they lost a lot of pieces. Trey Turner's gone. Justin Turner's gone. Cody Bellinger's gone. Tyler Anderson's gone. Heaney's gone.
JD Martinez is here.
JD Martinez is here. Noah Syndergaard is here. Picked up David Peralta on a little sneaky pick.
It's a solid move.
Miguel Rojas from the Marlins. That's a nice little underrated move. He's
Clayton
probably the starting
Kershaw's
shortstop
staying.
now. Clayton Kershaw's back.
Yeah.
And they got Alex Reyes from the Cardinals, who had a bad season last year, but that man can throw 102 on the dot when he's right.
It's kind of like the story with the Mets for me. It's a complete roster that you say really, really, really good. And you got guys. It's different, a little different from the Mets because you got guys like Mookie and JD, Max Muncy, some of these guys who can, and Freddie Freeman, for God's sake, like guys who are made for October. But the problem is they've been thrown in LA, and yet something isn't clicking. They just haven't been able to get. Yes, we have the 2020 World Series, yada yada yada. But like this team should be competing in the World Series every single year, like the Astros.
The past 4 seasons, right?
Yeah.
Choked to the Nationals in the NLDS.
Yep.
Won the weird 60-game World Series. I'm not going to discredit that because it was
Not going to discredit.
Yeah,
but
it's because it was the
doesn't count
situation
as
of the
much, in my
time, but
opinion.
it's not as indicative as winning a full World Series. And then they lost to they lost to the Cardinals in 2021, the Padres 2022. They just haven't been able to get it done despite the firepower on this roster, and there's a lot of firepower on this roster.
Yeah.
This lineup 1 through 9 is scary.
It is. Miguel Rojas is
Scary.
here, man. That just tells you stuff.
Here.
Trace Thompson is
really-
somehow good at baseball and just
I
stuff.
really like this roster. Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, Max Muncy, JD Martinez, Peralta, Vargas is playing second for them.
Yeah.
Um,
Chris Taylor's going to be thrown in the
Chris
mix.
Taylor's going to be there.
places.
They got a young guy named James Outman, who he had a crazy week when he got called up.
He did.
For the first week he was playing. Chris Taylor's still there. This team's really good, and the pitching staff is really good too. Julio Urias, Tony Gonsolin's still there, Dustin May, and brought in Syndergaard, obviously.
I mean, we'll probably talk late on a later date about expectations for some of these teams generally, but like it's World Series or bust every year for the Dodgers.
I think so too.
It's been a lot of busts.
Yeah,
recently.
but this Dodgers team is definitely worse than last year, and it's big to know that they're not gonna have Walker Buehler for a good chunk of the season.
Yeah, Walker Buehler's really good, and he's impactful.
When he's there, he's the best pitcher on this team.
Yeah.
I think, and they have some aces. Like this team has like
They have
3
great
legit
pitching.
aces. I don't know how I feel about this bullpen either.
Yeah.
I like
bullpen's
Gratterall.
gotta
I like
grow.
Gratterall as a closer. The rest of this, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how to feel about a lot of these guys. 'Cause a lot of these guys are like older vet
Yeah.
dudes, and they usually bring it together. But I don't know. We will see with this squad. The over under for them is set at 96.5.
Which is that the largest? No,
No, the
have
Astros
the
is
largest.
97.
Okay. Honestly, call me crazy. I'm taking under.
I'm debating how much of the Padres Kool-Aid I want to drink. Because if I think the Padres are a 97-win team, that means I think the Dodgers are probably worse.
Yeah, I really think that. I don't know, man. I could see the Padres in a realistically passing the Dodgers.
And I honestly could see the Dodgers this year not winning as many games, like winning 95, but then being
going
better
on
in
a run.
October.
Yeah.
Like I could see that.
Yeah.
And especially if they get Buehler back as a reinforcement down the stretch, they're probably going to make a move at the deadline for a vet. for a veteran bat in their outfield, because that's one of the biggest needs they have
Yep.
right now. Oh, this is hard. I'm gonna.
Yep.
I don't want to bet. I don't want to bet against the Dodgers because they've had 100-win seasons.
Yeah.
But they've regressed, and I like the Padres. I'm gonna go. See, I said the Padres at like 96, 97. I'll say slight under for the Dodgers at 95. I think it's gonna be a dogfight between those two for the division.
Yeah. The NL's gonna be really good this year.
NL is gonna be really good this year.
Yeah, I mean that pretty much ties the bow on the NL episode. I mean, baseball,
fun
it's
season,
so
man.
good to have baseball back. I mean, you really just get excited for it. You don't know how much you miss it until it's gone.
Yeah, and I think part of the preview for our next episode, the World Baseball Classic has me so hyped for this season. And I think having that tournament at the time that it was, I know people were bitching about the injury.
Yeah.
There was like 2 major injuries that happened. Calm yourselves, and one of them was on a celebration.
Yeah.
That is not a baseball injury.
And
honestly, guys are going down in spring training, too.
Yeah.
You don't hear people crying and bitching about that.
And people go down in the playoffs. People go down in the regular season. It's part of life.
Dude, I think the WBC has probably gained so many international fans. Like, how many Japanese guys do you think are now going to be Cardinals fans because of what Lars did for their team? Or Angels fans because they saw Red Sox fans. Rocking. Or Red Sox fans. Or, you know, like, it's just... Oh, it's so good for the game, and having that playoff atmosphere already has me so ready.
I know
for ball that's like,
and you know what, a guy like me who, doesn't really have a lot of time to be watching Japanese baseball is tuning into it a lot more now.
I might. Hey, listen, it's like they play it in the morning, so if you're up early enough.
And honestly, like, baseball's become an international game now.
Oh yeah,
you can't say this.
I mean, the face of baseball is an international.
A lot of people say baseball is America's pastime. It's the world's pastime. And a lot of people are saying, oh, well, soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. Watch out.
WBC,
Watch out for the WBC.
Watch WBC,
Watch out.
Back in 26.
Because in a few years, a few more World Baseball Classics, this shit's going to pick up traction.
I would love to see them expand the WBC to, I think it was 20 teams this year. I'd love to see 30.
Yeah.
I'd love to see 30. We'll talk about this on, the next episode. We do the full recap of the WBC. But... Man, it has me so ready.
Opening day right around the corner.
Opening day, this is March 30th.
Baseball time, baby.
We will see you then. Take us out.
All right. Thank you guys for listening to the second episode of Almost Said Ballin', but it is Triple Play. You guys know the drill. I mean, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Spotify, we're on YouTube. We'll be on TikTok probably the day that this is released. Trying to get a lot more better with posting. We're really going to try to step it up. We're really excited to be here, giving you baseball content. But, yeah, great season ahead. Run up all the socials. We're trying to grow this thing. We're trying to have great guests on. If anybody out there knows someone that wants to be a guest, wants us to try to reach out to somebody. Hey, listen, am I going to ask DeRosa if he'd like to come on the podcast and talk about a little baseball classic stuff for next week? Maybe. Am I going to DM?
We gotta get Ken Griffey.
Am I going to DM my best friend, JD Martinez, to come on the podcast? Maybe. But that's really up to you guys. So thank you guys for listening to this episode. We will see you next time.
Nick Antoniadis, I nominate you.
You have been chosen.